I'm Nicole from Behind Second Lines. We're here with Matt from Colourflies. We're going to toss up an interview, or we recently tossed up an interview. We're covering a lot of the band the next month or so, and we're really excited to be working with him. He's going to do a couple of live acoustic songs for us, some new stuff, and some stuff that's going to be making an appearance on his new album. Oh. So I understand you just got off a big tour.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about it.
It was, we opened up for Green Jello, and so that was like a mini thing where we just did like 4 days or whatever. And then those were like insane shows in front of hundreds of people, and we were like the band that was in front. And so we also played with as their backing band.
Oh.
So we had to learn. Our label owner also was playing the drums too. So our drummer got to sit out for the Green Jello show, for the Green Jello material or whatever. So we spent like a week or 2 weeks rehearsing all the material, and we learned like around like probably 12 or 13 songs or more or something like that.
Wow.
And then we get on the road and it's completely different. Like, you know, the arrangement of the song, and the arrangement would change completely. It was just like so on the fly and crazy, and people broke their legs, and it was nuts. And
why don't you tell us about that? What happened
so,
there?
well, we were playing this show at this place in Kalispell, and we were playing, and well, first of all, so we go on stage or whatever, and it's like 11. It's probably like 11:30 or something. It's late or whatever. And, yeah, it's late set. The Green Jello goes on at midnight. Like every show, that's what they do. That's like it's like Bill's thing. Anyway, so because Bill's just one guy and he goes around the country, and he's so famous that he can get a band in any city and just play a show, and it's like packed with people or whatever. So, anyway, so we do that, and they go on at midnight or whatever. And we're opening the show, and it's pretty decent reaction because these people had never seen us or whatever. And so during one of this is to show how the crowd was. During one of the songs, whatever, I do this thing where I go out into the crowd and just lay on my back and do a guitar solo. And they started like kicking me because they're punks, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't used to that because I was like, you know, I'm not a punk, I'm like a geek or something. So I'm not used to that kind of thing. So they started kicking me or whatever. So I go up and I was like, oh, what a nice crowd, you know. But the reception was nice after we finished or whatever. They thought we were really, really good, and it was all cool or groovy or whatever. But then when Green Jello went to play, they super rowdy, and somebody broke their leg. And I guess like we were going out of the venue, and it was like at that point probably 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that. Something ridiculous. The set was really long, and the guy was like on a stretcher, and he's like, "Great concert, man!" Just like, and his legs just like propped up because it's broken.
We've had the privilege of working with a lot of Houston's punk rock scene, and it's very easy watching, you know, punk rock people dance, seeing how they can break limbs.
See, and when I was a kid, I was more, you know, like I would crowd surf and stuff like that. Not anymore. No way.
No, you can't damage the guitar hands, man.
No, I'm terrified of like damaging my hands now. But yeah, that was that show, and then we went on to another show, and then we played at a ballroom. And so, like, we're getting ready to play. We were tuning our instruments, and like Devin's tuning his drums, making sure everything's all right. And then we get on stage, and there's like 600 or more people.
Wow. In
this ballroom, and it's just like.
Is that your biggest audience you've played?
Oh yeah. And like we and we have the whole thing on a VHS video.
Oh, that's cool.
So we have the whole thing like taped or whatever, filmed or whatever, and like you could see all of our reactions. We're just like, whoa, this is crazy. And then like I always thought of like big shows, and I always like think of Woodstock, which is like, you know, dreaming or whatever. But like, and they're like, when I looked out there, they were like throwing beach balls. So it was like ridiculously like Woodstock-esque or something, but it was only.
Yeah, it had a festival feel to it.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, that reception was amazing. They're like, come back, you can play a sold-out show. So we might do our album release show over there when it comes out, and just.
Cool. Where was that?
This is Montana.
Montana.
This is Montana, which
so,
rocks.
Viewers, let's go visit Montana and listen to
rocks.
music.
They know how to show up, and they know how to like support people that are playing. Like it's a pretty incredible scene, I thought. So.
Awesome.
I played in Seattle, and I played in Portland and stuff like that. It's nowhere like Portland. People are way too cool. But like, you know, you understand.
Oh no, Houston's scene is. It depends on the scene, I guess. But you know, sometimes Houston will have a show where there'll be a performance. Someone will go in, and then for the next act, everyone leaves. So it's
Yeah.
it's real.
We get a
touch and
whole,
go.
when we go on tour, we get a lack of eye contact thing. Where I make heavy eye contact with people because I like to connect with people and I think it's important. And then like people on the road or whatever, they never look at me in the eyes, or just like looking down or whatever. They'll say good set and they'll just be looking down or on their phone or something. So
Yeah.
and these people on this tour or whatever, they no phones. Like I mean like to take videos and stuff like that, but they were like there was nothing, like people weren't bored, they were really into it, which was insane.
Sweet. That's all you can ask for as a musician, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So
And,
you mentioned the VHS tape. I know you guys have a lot of like DIY stuff. I
Yeah.
think we talked about that in the interview a bit, but my reporter talked to me and was saying that it's really cool that you guys make a lot of your own stuff.
well, we just feel,
handcrafted.
like too many fingers in the pie sort of thing. Sometimes things kind of go stray from what you want. The more people that are involved with it,
Yeah.
if you can kind of have your own thing, it's kind of easier to keep control of everything. And with our band, because our band is getting bigger and bigger, and like it's getting more out of our control, so we kind of just want it for our art and sake, and just like things represented by us, we want to keep as much control on it as possible, because we can't control the other aspects of things that are changing around us. Like it becomes weird when it's like you have no control of your image. People will post things and do fan art, and you don't know. You can't like do like I don't look like that, because it's like
I saw one of your posts. You got you had a fan recently do some fan art of you that
Yeah.
you were really into.
It was cool.
What is that experience like, getting fan art from people? Is that like a reoccurring thing? How does that?
I think people think I look like Jimi Hendrix a lot, and so they try to do like psychedelic things. I don't know. Every day I have like a Colourflies kind of fan, not page, but it's like a messenger thing on Instagram.
Ah.
So I have kids in there that like send me, what guitar should I get, what amp should I get, and they kind of care about that stuff, and I kind of send them pictures of what I'm doing, whatever. So like you just kind of come to the consensus that like you really can't. I mean, you can control as much as you can control, but like it's really flattering to have people want to know what you're doing, or send you fan art or any of that stuff. It's just
That's a
so
cool way
bizarre.
that you can connect with your fans.
Yeah,
that a lot of
no,
musicians
absolutely.
don't bother to do.
No,
so
yeah.
that's like really.
absolutely totally bizarre, but like I've always been kind of like fans are like just like we are. So I mean, there's no way that you would feel like you're above the fans, or whatever. It's like a 15-year-old kid. I feel like a 15-year-old kid still. So if like they're saying this and this and this, it's like I feel the same way still. So
Yeah. Well, and
they have a little more optimism because they're not as jaded as I am from being in the business. But as
No,
I'm sure you know,
they could be the next. We were just talking about John Mayer a little bit off camera.
Absolutely.
The next John Mayer, you have no idea.
you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea who you're going to encourage with what you say. So
Yeah.
I kind of go more towards that direction of people, if they want to, interested in our band and they want interest in our lives, I let them in for the most part. Not everything, obviously, but
Yeah.
but just like intimate details I think are interesting. I love bands and I love knowing everything about a band. So.
I do too. That's why I do this.
Exactly, yeah. Like
But, yeah.
obviously I am a huge John Mayer fan, and I know like a lot geeky stuff, but
Internet makes that geekiness.
no,
a lot
it
easier,
makes it
more
possible,
accessible, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So you guys have a new album coming out. You're talking about maybe releasing it in Montana, which would be pretty cool.
which would be amazing. Yeah,
Is there anything you want to share about that?
months and months and months of work. We've actually gone through, ridiculously enough, 5 album cycles. So
Wow.
we're talking about like 50 songs. So each cycle being longer than so now we have me, Mady, and Devin. We have what will be the album essentially. We finished all the demos before I left, and kind of we put lyrics on it and overdubs and stuff like that. It's just recorded in our house, just as rough demos to give to our label and producer and stuff like that. And so basically what happens is we'll have all of October to rehearse it, and then while playing shows sporadically. And then we go into the studio in November for a month in an old TV studio with a real producer and record the album. And it'll be the process will be unlike anything we've ever done. We've never been in a studio for a month. We've always like kind of like recorded in kind of periods, say like 1 or 2 songs or whatever, and then you put it aside, and then eventually you have enough for an album. This would be like, you know, and Ken Stringfellow from the Posies produced 2 of our songs.
That's pretty cool. I know you guys are
2
big
singles,
fans.
yeah, huge fans. We actually opened for the Posies when we got back from the Green Jello thing. So that was kind of like, that was a sold out show too, so it was just like so bizarre. It was such a bizarre like month. It was weird, really weird. It was weird.
What's like your favorite part about this whole album recording process? Is there something in particular that you like to engage in?
I love being in the studio because it's like a playground, you know? It's like an open, like, it's like a canvas because you can put everything you want to down. And, you know, it's like, I have ideas after ideas after ideas, and when you're with somebody who's creative, they have ideas after ideas too, and so you can kind of make your statement a little bit more boldly. Like, for example, like Been There Seen It was like, nobody expected it to do what it did on our label. Like, nobody expected it to sell, I'm sure, over 100 copies, but the music industry is so bad, like, it's like, it's ridiculous. Like, if you sell 500 records like we have or something like that, it's like a big deal because nobody buys physical albums anymore.
Which is crazy to me.
And
I tell everyone on the site, like, go buy merch or go...
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so when we started selling albums, our label was like, you guys are selling, the people want the art and they want the lyrics, they want the physical thing, which is so crazy because nobody sells albums anymore. And that made me even more like, you know, willing to go the distance as far as making things that I feel are pieces of art still, you know. I think that contextually albums like Sgt. Pepper and like Rumors and stuff like that, and from Fleetwood Mac and just like records like that are beautiful in like the fact that they're definitive statements of music, you know. And obviously they're classic albums, but still like just nobody really does. I mean, EPs are like what you do, and that's like 5 or songs or whatever, and that's kind of on record on the fly and then it's out or whatever. And bands are living their whole life that way, and I just think that it's like, I mean, I'm gonna be 27 in February, and if this isn't like the best thing I've done thus far, I'm wasting my time, you know. So I feel like it's really important to just kind of make flagpoles in your career. So Been There Seen It was one, which was our last album, was one flagpole, and it wasn't a perfect album. Kind of people, you know, it got reviewed and people said some of it was lo-fi, some of it was, you know, whatever, but that's what it was at that time, and that's what we wanted to say at that time. Now we want to say something different because I like Prince and Queen, and, you know, there's all sorts of prog rock on this record, even though it's like we're saying it's a pop album. It is, but it's like proggy and like...
I'd argue that a lot of your music incorporates heavy rock elements as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not just...
No, it's... I mean, it's never just one thing, but I mean, I want to... We want to like do things like Duran Duran meets like, I don't know, like the Lemonheads or something, like something ridiculous, you know?
Cool
like,
mashup.
I want something ridiculously different than we've ever done, because boring to, you know... And you have to play these songs for... I mean, I played the Been There Seen It album stuff for like 2.5 years, so you're kind of stuck, like, in a way, especially when people get attached to the songs. We would show up to places and people would be like, okay, like, not venues, but like we'd do like little TV things or something like that. People would be like, okay, you gotta play Jurassic Park, you gotta play 2%, you gotta play all these, you know, whatever songs.
Jurassic Park's one of my personal favorites.
Right.
I know you've probably played it.
I'll play it.
Oh, maybe we can catch that on acoustic when we're done talking.
No,
about
absolutely,
it.
I'll play it for you.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
cool.
because like that's the thing is like, I'm not sick of the song, like, or people's reaction to the song. I think that, well, I mean, that was like kind of like a hit song as far as radio performance and chart and like college charts and stuff like that.
Cool.
Our label submitted it to all sorts of, and it got
Your
played
label is badass, by the way, for
8 countries and stuff. So
8 countries. Hey, that's
so that's
cool.
pretty good. No, I'd never been to Belgium. And then we sold records there, and then we sold albums in the UK, and MTV Europe did some sort of thing or something. I don't know. But like those are all like things that like go along with what you do, and you just kind of get normalized by everything. But like, I don't know. I'm not tired of playing this song, or whatever. We just don't play it very often anymore.
Yeah,
so,
no, because as artists,
because we're moving on.
to grow
you know?
and move.
Yeah.
And
Somebody told me one of the reasons that we'd make it as a band is because we're not afraid to move on. We're not afraid to
Well, and you guys always seem to be pushing things creatively, and I think if you listen to your music or you go and you look all up on the internet, you have a very different mindset of doing things completely yourself and making your own art, making your own image, which is really unique because a lot of bands now like to take this really processed, boxed feel, and you guys are without the box, which is fantastic, and that's why we like working with you and interviewing you. And
Yeah,
you.
I never. I mean, since I was like 12 years old or younger, I never liked to be in a box.
Yeah.
I was never like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like wearing all black. Sometimes I feel like wearing a dress. Sometimes I feel like wearing, like stripes. It doesn't really matter to me because it's like it's all representative of kind of us, So it's like you never deny someone their own personal statement,
Yeah.
That's kind of a rule in our band. The general rule is like you just kind of feel the way that you feel. So if we're upset, we're upset. Like we'll play shows and we're upset, and you can tell that we're upset, but we're not going to put on a fake smile to placate an audience that came to see you happy. Like I just like it's not within our DNA to be that way as people. Even when we rehearse and we're upset, like we're upset.
Yeah, no.
There's no way to just.
I think that message
fake
of
it.
authenticity is where I'm going to end the chatting component of this, because I think that's something to take away, and that I would love for readers to apply to their own life, because in a world of selfies, social medias, and filters, we all need a little more authenticity and creativity. So if you guys stick with me, we're going to have some really great chats by Matt, and looking forward to sharing this with everyone.